tablets, computers, game consoles. Am I forgetting anything? Cars. Cars even have apps these days. Amazing. But when you start developing applications for all those different devices, you'll soon run into a problem. Because all those different devices have different screen resolutions, have different features, have different platforms, have different ways of developing for it. So a lot of people just choose one or two platforms and then forget about everything else. I think that's actually a bad move. If you build applications today, you should really think about everything else. But, building applications with all those different tools and all those different technologies, by the end of the day, you look like this. Right? I see some of you that recognize this. So it's not easy to do, and I know that. And I actually think that the Flash platform is a very good solution for that. Now, hold on. Don't go away just yet. Let me try and convince you. So the Flash platform is not just our runtime. It's not just Flash, Layer, and Air. It's actually a whole platform of tools, frameworks, server-side solutions, services, and obviously the client itself, Flash Layer and Adobe Air. And before we go through all the rest, let me start off with Flash Layer Air. And actually, let me start off with Flash Layer first. That's been around the longest time now. In fact, it's been around for about 13 years now, so it's kind of, it's not yet mature, but it's getting there. And you don't really see everything on this slide here, but this is actually showing you all the new features that we added in every single new version of Flash. So with every new version of Flash Layer, we keep adding new features to the web and basically upgrade the web with every new release, right? Because almost immediately, a developer can use those new features in their applications. Now, Flash Layer 10.1 is the last one, is the most current release. And one of its main features is that we enabled it to run on smartphones. And that is what I also want to talk about. Now, the cool thing is that we've been talking about this for so long, and it actually is finally real. So here are a couple of phones that you can buy today, in the market today, that have Flash Layer 10.1 pre-installed. So when you get it out of the box, you go online, you go to the BBC website, for instance, and watch the iPlayer. You can do that right on the device, on one of these devices. And there are a bunch more as well. And I'll show you some examples later on. In fact, some of our partners are even putting the Flash Layer logo on their boxes. This one is from Motorola. They also have Flash Layer prominently on their website. And they even took out an ad in just about every newspaper in the U.S., which was pretty amazing. And the ad says, Flash website? Sure, there's a phone for that. You know what that alludes to, right? And they also took out this TV. And that's what really excites me about this now. It's not just us anymore. It's our partners that are doing this with us. And without our partners, we couldn't do this. So we work with 19 of the 20 biggest OEMs, the 20 biggest device manufacturers. So I did say 19. I'm pretty sure you know who number 20 is. But they're more than welcome to join the party if they want to. Right, so where was I? So Flash Layer 10.1. Let me talk a little bit about some of the features in Flash Layer 10.1 that you may or not be aware of. So first of all, we enabled Flash Layer 10.1 to have multi-touch capabilities. So you can now build multi-touch applications with Flash Layer. We also, since we brought it to devices, we obviously also need to add things like the screen orientation, so we could check that as well. When you have an input field in your application, you as a developer don't want to think about, how do I pop up that texting or the keyboard? Flash Layer does that automatically for you on whatever platform you run. And there's a lot of other new things in there, but I just want to highlight the two last ones. We greatly optimized the way that Flash Player actually runs Flash applications on your website. So for instance, if you go to a website that has a bunch of ads, back home there's this one news website, last week I counted 25 ads on the home page alone. That's 25 Flash ads, right? Because a lot of advertisers use Flash these days. Well, if you do that or if you open up that page on a mobile phone, it's obvious that it's going to need a little bit more resources than it actually has. But FlashPlayer is intelligent enough to know that if a Swift application or a banner is not visible, it will not run or it will not use any resources. Well, a little bit, but not as it would be in full view. The FlashPlayer is also able to detect sleep mode. So if your phone goes into sleep mode, we'll actually drop some frames in FlashPlayer where it will still run the application, but using less power and less CPU. So instead of keeping to talk about these slides, let me just show you an example here. And this is my phone. This is the HTC Desire HD. Again, a phone that you can get in the market today. I believe it's still hard to get, but it is there. And I'm just going to open up the browser here. And I'm going to go to our Showcase website. So if you have an Android device, by the way, who has an Android device? All right, that's quite a lot of you. Cool. So if you have an Android device with Android 2.2, you can go to the market today and get FlashPlayer installed on your device. And then go to m.flash.com, which is our mobile showcase website. There's a lot of stuff up here. Let's see. Let's go to the Sony Pictures site first. I'll plug in the audio as well. And this is actually a mobile optimized version of their website, but they still use Flash for their video. So for instance, if we go to the Green Hornet, and hopefully